Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have an update to share about one of Trump's Capitol insurrectionists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested. Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
The 43-year-old Iowa resident Doug Jensen is one of the most notorious January 6 defendants. He was the man who was seen in the Q t-shirt. He was at the front of a very agitated mob. They chased Officer Eugene Goodman up the steps. This was on the inside of the Capitol. And it was later reported that Jensen was carrying a knife at the time of his actions. So Jensen's trial concluded last week, and it went exactly as I expected. Jensen was found guilty on all charges. Prior to the trial, Jensen's attorney tried to block the use of some of the comments that he made during an FBI interview, which lasted almost 4 hours. And Jensen's attorney argued that, well, Jensen wasn't read his Miranda rights. He was sleep deprived when he consented to the search of his phone. But the judge pointed out that no, he was actually repeatedly told that his interview was completely voluntary. He went there of his own accord. He was allowed to take smoke breaks. And then the cops even drove him home afterwards. So he wasn't under arrest. So there was no reason for them to read him his Miranda rights. And he wasn't even arrested until the following day. And based on the recorded interview, because this is all on camera, the judge said, you might want to take a look at this because the agents barely asked him any questions. He basically blathered on and on about his political views. He told them what he did at the Capitol, what his intentions were on January 6th. So it's not like they were pulling this information out of him and torturing the guy to try to get him to talk. He readily spilled his guts. So at the trial, Officer Goodman testified, and he told the jury that at the time of this encounter with Jensen, he had already spent over an hour battling the mob outside of the Capitol, and that his pepper spray was depleted. And Goodman himself had already been sprayed with bear mace. And at some point, he dropped his baton during this chase. So he had nothing but his service revolver to protect him against a very large, angry group of people. And the officer also said, quote, "He just kept coming closer, kept accosting me. I felt like they were going to rush me at any time." And quote, "He was the one up front accosting me the most." And Goodman said that he warned Jensen, quote, "I told him that if they attacked me or if they charged, I was going to shoot. He said, do what you got to do." But Jensen's attorney said, no. Jensen was just encouraging Officer Goodman to go arrest members of Congress and Vice President Mike Pence because he is a believer in QAnon conspiracy theories. And so he thought they were doing something illegal. Well, after deliberating for only 4 hours, the jury found Jensen guilty of civil disorder, obstructing an official proceeding, assaulting, resisting, or impeding police, entering a restricted building or grounds with a dangerous weapon, disorderly conduct in a restricted building with a dangerous weapon, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building, and parading in a Capitol building. So based on the most serious felony obstruction charge, Jensen faces up to 20 years in prison. I've told you guys before, though, the federal sentencing guidelines are always much lower, but it should be pretty substantial. I mean, he has been convicted now on all of these charges. So his hearing is scheduled for December 16th. I will absolutely let you guys know what goes down with all of that. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.